Good evening, everyone. Let's talk about love, specifically the kind that comes from a man who chooses to love you wholeheartedly. Love isn't just a feeling, it's an action, a practice, and sometimes a downright hard-fought decision. When a man loves you, he doesn't just say it, he lives it. He lives it in the moments that matter and the moments you think don't. He loves you in the ordinary and extraordinary, through the big gestures and the small, silent sacrifices. Real love, the kind that we long for and sometimes fear we don't deserve, is vulnerable, intentional, and above all, seen in the way he shows up. Let me tell you 4 truths about love when it's real, when it's deep, and when it's from a man who chooses you every day. When a man loves you, it's not just about the big dramatic gestures, though those can be beautiful too. Real love is found in the steady, everyday acts that might seem small to the world but mean everything to you. It's the way he consistently shows up, no matter what. Consistency in action is the foundation of trust. It's knowing that his words align with what he does. If he says he'll call, he calls. If he promises to be there, he shows up. His love isn't sporadic or dependent on convenience. It's steady and reliable, like the tide returning to shore. It's in the mornings he makes you coffee because he knows how much it means to start your day together. It's in the way he pays attention to the details of your life, the way your voice changes when you're tired, the way you light up when you're talking about your dreams. He notices these things because he cares, and because he cares, he acts on them. But consistency isn't just about the easy moments. It's also about how he shows up when things are hard. When you're overwhelmed, he offers support, not judgment. When you're upset, he listens instead of shutting down or walking away. It's the way he keeps choosing you, even on the days when the world feels heavy. Consistency is also found in how he invests in the relationship over time. It's not about perfection, it's about effort. He continues to nurture the bond between you, putting in the work to keep it healthy and strong. He knows love isn't a one-time act, it's a series of choices made every single day. When a man loves you, his actions become a quiet yet profound declaration of his commitment. Love in action is not about grandiosity, it's about showing up, time and time again, in ways that make you feel seen, valued, and cherished. It's steady, it's intentional, and it's unwavering. That's the kind of love that builds unshakable foundations and weathers any. When a man truly loves you, he doesn't just listen to your words, he seeks to understand your heart. Holding space for your truth means creating a safe, open, and non-judgmental environment where you feel free to express who you are, what you feel, and what you believe without fear of criticism, rejection, or dismissal. It's more than just hearing you, it's about being present for the fullness of your experiences. When you share your fears, dreams, or even your mistakes, he doesn't rush to fix you or tell you how you should feel. Instead, he allows you the dignity of your own emotions. He acknowledges your feelings as valid and important, even when they're messy or difficult to hear. Holding space for your truth also means valuing your voice. He doesn't interrupt, minimize, or redirect the conversation to himself. He doesn't assume he knows better or invalidate your perspective. Instead, he leans in with curiosity and respect, showing you that your thoughts and experiences matter deeply to him. This kind of love is particularly powerful in moments of vulnerability. When you're struggling or revealing parts of yourself you may have hidden from others, his response makes all the difference. A man who loves you will stay with you in the discomfort, even when he doesn't have all the answers. He will sit with you in silence if that's what you need, holding the space for you to find your own clarity and healing. But holding space doesn't mean he loses himself in the process. True love honors both your truths, allowing room for mutual understanding and growth. It's a balance. He holds your truth with care, even as he remains honest about his own feelings and boundaries. This creates a relationship built on trust, where both people feel seen and valued. At its core, holding space for your truth is an act of love because it's rooted in acceptance. He doesn't try to change you, mold you, or diminish you. Instead, he celebrates your authenticity, encouraging you to stand fully in who you are. It's through this willingness to embrace your truth that love becomes transformative. empowering both of you to grow together in a deeper, more meaningful connection. Storm.love is rooted in respect. At the heart of any true, lasting love is respect. Without respect, love becomes fragile, conditional, and unbalanced. But when a man loves you deeply, his love is built on a foundation of honoring who you are, not just as his partner, but as a whole, independent person with your own identity, dreams, and values. Respect starts with how he sees you. He values your thoughts, listens to your ideas, and genuinely seeks your perspective. He doesn't dismiss your opinions, even when they differ from his own. Instead, he sees those differences as opportunities to learn from you, grow with you, and strengthen your bond. It also means respecting your boundaries. A man who loves you honors the lines you draw, whether they're physical, emotional, or situational. He doesn't push, pressure, or guilt you into doing something you're not comfortable with. Instead, he acknowledges and supports your right to say no, recognizing that mutual consent and comfort are non-negotiable in a healthy relationship. Respect is also evident in how he celebrates your individuality. He doesn't see you as an extension of himself or expect you to fit into a mold of what he thinks a partner should be. Instead, he admires your strengths, supports your ambitions, and encourages you to pursue your passions. He wants you to thrive, not just within the relationship, but in every area of your life. When disagreements arise, as they inevitably do in any relationship, respect is what keeps love intact. A man who loves you doesn't resort to name-calling, belittling, or trying to win the argument. He communicates with you constructively, focusing on the issue rather than attacking you as a person. He's willing to compromise, to apologize when he's wrong, and to work through challenges with kindness and patience. Respect also means valuing your time, energy, and efforts. He doesn't take you for granted or assume you'll always be the one to make sacrifices. Instead, he recognizes the balance required to maintain a healthy partnership and works alongside you to build that equilibrium. Most importantly, respect means seeing you as his equal. A man who truly loves you doesn't see himself as above or beneath you, but as your partner walking beside you. He values the partnership you've built and works to ensure it's rooted in fairness, mutual appreciation, and shared goals. When love is rooted in respect, it becomes unshakable. It nurtures trust, strengthens communication, and creates a relationship where both people feel seen, valued, and free to be their authentic selves. Respect isn't just a part of love, it's what makes love possible. True love requires more than grand gestures and poetic words. It demands a deep level of courage, a willingness to be seen, to be honest, and to be vulnerable, even when it's uncomfortable. When a man loves you, he chooses to lower his guard and let you into the parts of himself that he might otherwise keep hidden from the world. Vulnerability in love isn't about weakness, it's about strength. It takes courage to expose the pieces of himself that aren't polished or perfect, the fears he carries, the wounds he's healing from, and the dreams he holds close to his heart. It's in those raw, unfiltered moments that love deepens, because vulnerability is an invitation to connect on the most authentic level. When a man loves you, his vulnerability also shows in his willingness to express his emotions. Society often teaches men to be stoic and to suppress their feelings, but love challenges those barriers. He learns to open up, to tell you when he's afraid, and to share his joy without fear of judgment. It's in the way he says, "I need you," or admits, "I don't have all the answers," that you see the bravery of his love. Courageous vulnerability isn't just about what he shares, it's also about how he responds to you. He's willing to hold space for your vulnerability, even when it's messy or difficult. He listens when you share your fears, comforts you when you're hurting, and stands by you when you feel unsure of yourself. He doesn't see your vulnerability as a burden, he sees it as a bridge that brings you closer. It also means risking rejection and disappointment. Loving someone fully and authentically always carries the possibility of pain. But a man who loves you doesn't shy away from that risk. He embraces the uncertainty of love because he knows that what you're building together is worth it. He chooses to trust, even when it's scary, and to keep showing up, even when it's hard. In moments of conflict, courageous vulnerability is what allows him to admit when he's wrong, to apologize sincerely, and to ask for forgiveness. It's the humility to recognize his mistakes and the determination to do better. Vulnerability fuels growth, not just as a couple, but as individuals who are committed to learning and improving together. At its core, courageous vulnerability is about letting go of the armor and allowing love to reach the parts of him that are most tender and real. It's about showing you his true self, not just the strong and confident side, but the human side. And in doing so, he creates a relationship where both of you feel safe to be exactly who you are. Love without vulnerability is shallow, it's surface level and conditional. But when a man loves you with courageous vulnerability, he shows you that his love is honest, brave, and unwavering. That kind of love changes everything. It heals, it strengthens, and it creates a connection that can weather any storm. Love isn't just a feeling, it's a practice, a choice, and sometimes a leap of faith. When a man loves you, it's in the way he shows up for you, respects you, honors your truth, and dares to be vulnerable with you. It's not about perfection, it's about intention. Love is built in the quiet, consistent moments, in the courage to be real, and in the mutual respect that forms the foundation of a lasting connection. It's about choosing each other every single day, not because it's always easy, but because it's worth it. When a man loves you, let me tell you, it's not just something you'll hear. It's something you'll see, feel, and know deep in your heart. And that, my friends, is the kind of love we all deserve. Thank you.